This is the last section in part 2 called Indoctrination, and we're going to look at some case studies. Also, that concept of externalizing reality. I also mentioned in the beginning of this whole presentation of the concept of fantasizing reality, and let's see how that plays into these case studies. And we start with Walt Disney, one of the most famous and revered characters in all of time. I even love watching those movies. So what is Walt Disney? Well, he is a Demolay here. You can see that he is in a Demolay uniform. Demolay is the predecessor to Freemasonry, and so you can clearly see here, this is the Demolay logo along with Freemasonry. As a Demolay, you are very, if not 100% likely to move into Freemasonry as an older man. So young Walt Disney here being shown as a Demolay. He also paints Mickey Mouse as a Demolay. Former Kansas City Demolay decorates his protege Mickey Mouse, and so you can see Mickey Mouse with the Demolay logo. Here are postcards with Walt Disney and the square and compass of Freemasonry, Demolay International. And you can see here as well, this is Order of the Demolay, again square and compass. Now also in the cartoons, you can see the reference to secret societies, Mickey Mouse chapter, and you see this cartoon now representing the chapter of Demolay. In another one, he's showing you another reference to secret societies. And here's a larger image of that. I now pronounce the Barnyard chapter, Order of Demolay, duly open, etc. This is a cartoon called Bimbo, and you can see the reference here again to Freemasonry and secret societies. Bimbo here has now been caught into this, looks like a lodge. Now he's being fed into this the concepts of Freemasonry and secret society, skull and bones, the number 13, which represents rebellion, question marks, which are the mysteries, and this ink blot here, also mysteries, and these doors that are going to be opened. And you can see in the final plate, you can see the checkerboard floor duality, and this Bimbo cartoon representing secret societies. Moving on with the number 33. This is Club 33. There's 33 degrees in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry on Royal Street, and there is the Royal Arch of Freemasonry here. So we have two references to Freemasonry, as well as the decoration of the plates itself and the design of the logo as dual with black and white sections. Not all the logos have that, but they do. And you can see here the owl in the design of the interior, and I believe that should be an owl in the actual interior. If anybody ever gets into that place, please let me know so they can confirm this. But in the original design, you have the owl of Minerva there. On the interior, the classic colors of Freemasonry, blue and gold, and then of course you have Masonic Club pins, and again now you see the design of the plateware with the design of an actual Freemasonry lodge floor. Walt Disney and Fantasia. Of course, this is all about magic, and he is the sorcerer's apprentice. So this is a very old film with Mickey being the sorcerer's apprentice and wanting to be the sorcerer. Here's the sorcerer himself wanting to be the sorcerer. Now you have 2 by 2 these people in the woods. This is witchcraft, and of course we understand that wearing this hat represents witchcraft. Merlin the magician, magic. Now you see Satan himself in this, and then at the end of it, Mickey becomes the sorcerer. So not only I believe that was symbolic early on in the career of Walt Disney and the career of his protege Mickey Mouse to become this sorcerer. You can see here the Masonic magician, and understanding that magic, witchcraft, and Masonry go hand in hand. They love King Solomon and his period of going into idolatry. And you can see here the Solomon's Key, Secrets of Magic and Masonry, and you see here the six-pointed star, which is used in black magic and Satanism, as well as the square and compass. And so this leads you to understand what is on the current flag of Israel, and they are heavily involved in this, as well as the rest of the world, in Freemasonry, and the secret societies have literally taken over. You can see here he's holding the key, and that is the key to the mysteries. These are sigils here of in Satanism of different, I believe, demonic entities, and I don't know which ones those are. You can see here the consumerism of Walt Disney and the Masonic checker floor. You can also see here this is Disney product Selena Gomez, and you can see clearly now the two dogs in the tarot card of the moon and the black and white dualism. You see the two pillars of Freemasonry, and you also see the horned animals here, and she's also dressed in dualism clothes, and the two women with the two dogs adjoining her. And you can also see now Mickey in a fashion show closing one eye, and that one eye symbolism there. Walt Disney and sexuality. The Little Mermaid, this particular piece up here is the male part. And so this is fairly common in Walt Disney and their productions. You can see here the Lion King. If I pull that back, it spells the letter sex, and this is just very brief to understand that this goes on. Tangled itself, S-E-X, and you can see the S, the E, and the X in this movie. These are for your children. I probably don't have to explain this at all, but look at what Disney has been involved with. Here's Hannah Montana, and I've never seen a skin-colored guitar before, and that is a piece of candy. And then you have now Miley Cyrus dancing on a pole at the Teen Choice Awards. She wears the all-seeing eye, or the eye of Lucifer, and there it is. And then, of course, Monsters, Inc. has the eye in it. Now let's look at Walt Disney here. This is the Mickey Mouse Club. There are allegations of Walt Disney, and you can find these on the internet. There was a book written also that claiming that he was a pedophile. And we see here I and then the Mickey symbol, MK. You can construe that as Mickey, but in this case I'm going to introduce what Walt Disney is allegedly been involved with, which is MK Ultra and mind control. And I know this sounds far-fetched. These are three of the Disney products that we know best: Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Justin Timberlake. You're going to see further. I want you to hold on and see further evidence of what MK Ultra was. MK Ultra is the offshoot of Project Paperclip, which was a Nazi program, and this had to do with mind control and satanic ritual abuse, where the victim is abused and therefore creates alternate personalities through abuse, and demons are attached to those personalities. So I know this sounds far-fetched, but let's move along in this section and you'll understand where I'm coming from. So here is Justin Timberlake now doing and imitating Lady Gaga and the 666 sign. You see here in a video 33 as well. This is him now in one of the previous Super Bowls years back with Janet Jackson, and you can see obviously that this is a staged event where he pulls off one of the breasts of Janet Jackson. And again, now looking at Justin Timberlake, who he is, and this sexual connotation. It's all about sex in Disney, and these children are programmed into it. And here is Donald Duck, and I had to block that out. There's Christina Aguilera. This is what Disney produces, and you can see this clearly. Now, Britney Spears had her episode, and you can find this on the internet, of her breaking down, shaving her head, and we believe that this is a result of the wanting to break free from the programming. She's had a number of interviews that allude to this fact, and Fritz Springmeier actually wrote a book about how the Illuminati creates a virtually undetectable mind control slave. Here's Britney Spears now doing the horns for Glee. Now the two proteges with Madonna in this same-sex marriage scene with the woman black and white with a top hat. And we all understand and know this. Britney Spears kissing the alter persona of Lady Gaga, as well as that ritual there. And I call it a ritual because it's live on stage and they do this ritualistically. I wanted to show you this because this is key. Miley Cyrus is supposed to be a Christian. They're always supposed to have Christian values or pray and thank God for everything. And so they've gathered a huge following, even from the Christian realm, and Christians thinking that they're that these stars are Christians. Every atom in your body came from a star that exploded, and the atoms in your left hand probably came from a different star than the atoms in your right hand. It really is the most poetic thing I know about the universe. You are all stardust. You couldn't be here if stars hadn't exploded, because the elements, the carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, all the things that matter for evolution weren't created at the beginning of time. They were created in stars. So forget Jesus. Stars died so you could live. This is an example of professing to be wise and becoming fools. And so we have here a scientist that is stating specifically to forget about Jesus. He knows nothing about creation. These people believe that creation was from nothing, whereas the Christian can claim that God created. The so-called evolutionary scientist can only say that nothing created the universe. And so this saying was actually tweeted by Miley Cyrus, and all of her following fans got this tweet from a supposed Christian. And that is who Miley Cyrus is, and that's the end of this plate. Now moving on, this is the Masonic temple in Toronto, and this was taken over by MTV, and then MTV is now broadcasting from the Masonic temple. You can see the square and compass in the back. You can see the stage and who they bring in. MTV and the use of the Eye of Lucifer. And their television shows, and you can see again the 666 sign being used. Now MTV funded, for the first time in history, this video was funded exclusively by MTV. This is by LCD Sound System. You can see the lightning bolt. You can see his use of the Masonic salute, which is the Pledge of Allegiance sign. That is Masonic. At midnight she came to collect the souls of the wicked men. Here's the Eye of Lucifer. So this goddess portrayed in this video now goes to all of these power-mongering men. They are asking these men to sign contracts, and when they don't sign contracts, this light emanates from the hand or her hand, and she lures them into a Masonic lodge. And in between all of this, these images flash at split seconds, and this is the Eye of Horus or the Eye of Lucifer, the square and compass of Freemasonry with the generative principle representing the G, and then of course the Eye of Lucifer and the G, it looks like here, with light emanating. And so they are now lured into this Masonic lodge. You see the checker chessboard floor. You see the some type of a master there. You see the skull. You see the single pillar. You see the checkerboard reflected in the eye, and these men are looking around. And the interesting thing about this is that the people that are already in the lodge when they come in are representative of, looks like here, military, looks like the executive branch or the politicians and the publicans, and then you have the police, the domestic police. And so what is this saying? This is saying that they are already controlled by the Illuminati and Freemasonry, and I believe that to be exactly the case. Here we have at the end of this, this woman here now has directed all of this, and she has, there's, this image is flashed, and you have, look, the use of alcohol and force and bracelets and other elements, pills, cards, I don't know, lubrication or whatever, but what is the meaning of all of this? And then now this is the actual actress, and she is using this hexagram in the eye, one eye symbolism again. These are all ministers, and they're all acting in unison to indoctrinate people unknowingly, and we are the uninitiated. Now MTV, looking at this again, this is one of the ads that they had a few years back. This ad campaign, touch it, and you can see touch it refers to the bunny and the rabbit, which is the Playboy logo, which is for fertility and sex, and probably most likely this is the middle finger again, so that sexual connotation. See it. Now you see this bull, and you see now the opening of this third eye, as in see it. All of this occult symbology. Hear it. I think this is just a bunch of chaos going on. Smell it, going into the nose, and then taste it. You can see that this is a red-faced demonic type entity. And then in the middle is this, experience it, is the spiral of Archimedes, which is used in hypnotism. And in the middle is this woman, and she has eyes everywhere. You see the owl of Minerva, eagles. Here's the dragon in the hair. You can see here the eye of Lucifer emanating, and skulls. All of that occult symbology. And now you can clearly understand it with the commercial that came out with regard to this campaign. And these are Aborigine types. You have these two little creatures here looking at this, and they are chanting. And when they do chant, you have this bull come out, and the bull, now there's lightning around this bull, and the opening of the third eye, which is the spiritual eye. You see the pentacles here. And then they go into this trance with the rabbit now fertilizing, all of this occult symbolism. Then the shattering, and this eye with black liquid coming out. I don't know exactly what that represents, but it seems very similar to that last plate where Bimbo and the secret societies, and this what is it, messing up of the mind anyway, or the shattering of the mind. And then you have the yoni symbol, which is very similar to the Christian fish symbol being used in the navel, and all of this coming out from the navel. You see the tattoos here, looks like an eye. And so you can understand that we're being indoctrinated on a level that we don't understand on the basic level, but when you understand what the symbols are, then you can see there's something, there's a program going on. This is a pretty famous commercial that was done years back by MTV, and it culminates into a person having a horned head that fell off the wall, now dressed in a ministerial gown. Here you have a minister, I believe. You have two twins and this daughter with blood spilt, as in sacrifice. And then this person here, I don't know if that's a murder scene or what, but the entire commercial is riddled with occult, and it's cleverly done that way. Now looking at the 2009 VMA Awards, this was an entire ritual altogether. And we begin with the High Priestess. This is Madonna, dressed in black, and she recites the verses of Thriller by Michael Jackson. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grizzy ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, and no mere mortal can resist the evil of the Thriller. And so it begins this ritual, and you have Jack Black next, who prays to Satan, and this looks like comedy, and I'm telling you, what they did was actually hold hands and bow their heads and prayed to Satan himself. And this is national television. So the entire nation watched this, and it looks like comedy, but I'm telling you, they do this ritualistically, and you'll see what happened later on. We have Lady Gaga here. Now you can see she's dressed as the horned owl. Her dancers have female panties on. You can see the stage set. It is two pillars and the arch, and you can see the keystone up here, but the arch, two pillars of Freemasonry. You can see that this was a mock sacrifice because she begins bleeding here. The stage turns red, and she is hoisted up and lifted while all the dancers praise, and the light emanates from the center of the two pillars. A mock sacrifice on national television. In addition to that, the same 2009 VMA Awards. Here's Michael or Janet Jackson. You can see the symbolism of the black and white dualism. This is Pink and her performance, and you can clearly see here on national television an initiate into Freemasonry. Here's the initiate blindfolded, as she is blindfolded. A noose around the neck. She does not have the noose, but she does get hoisted up. So I believe that this is the representation of this noose, and you can see that ritual play that she does after this. You can see the left breast is exposed as it is here. You see now the left leg is exposed as it is here, but the variant is that the clothing represents the floor of Freemasonry, or the floor of the lodge. She is not actually on the floor of the lodge here, but you can see clearly the Freemasonic reference to an initiate into Freemasonry. And then she gets hoisted up and does this dance, and it is very reminiscent of the Hanged Man, which is a tarot card. The Hanged Man is also in the movie I Am Legend. He is hanging there for a number of hours as the sun goes down and has to be resurrected. You see the Ankh here, and so he has to escape from that position. And here we have Kanye West. Now this is the 2010 VMA Awards, and you can see here he's dressed in quintessential satanic colors. This is red and black. You see the single pillar of Freemasonry, as you do here with Washington and in previous plates, so this is obvious Masonic symbolism, as well as this alternating disc, which was done for the 2010 VMA Awards, black and white alternating disc for the stage, and you can see that alternating disc here is now white. Now the performance itself was straight out of Greek mythology. These are the three versions, and he is either Satan or the paramour, and I believe it would be symbolic to be both, and in this case the paramour, and in this legend or in this occult rendition, the Karaites were the virgins, and the paramour, if was caught with one of the virgins, was put to death, and that was the tradition back then. And so you can see, if you are knowledgeable in the occult, knowledgeable in these legends of the of mythology and Greek civilization and Roman civilization, then you can get a job being a choreographer for Hollywood and the entertainment world. Moving on to the third plate in this final section called Indoctrination, let's start with Jay-Z again and his flashing of symbols. We've seen these before. Here's the sign of the benediction. There's the peace sign, which is similar to the benediction sign. Then we have Il Cornuto. He wears Christ crucified with the thorns. They do that. It does not mean they're Christian at all. Here's the Gray Album, which has a track on it that says 666 Murder, Murder, Jesus. You can find that on the internet for yourself, going back to Jesus Can't Save You, Life Starts When the Church Ends, Lucifer, and his song called Lucifer, and you have now collaborations with Rick Ross, and you can see the obvious Freemasonic symbolism. It's all about the occult. And Roca wear, and of course he's wearing the Founding Fathers. All of them were Freemasons. Now Kanye West, his very good friend, partner, and you can see his using the same adornments. He also uses Horus here, and this is Rolling Stones, and you can see now he's claiming himself to be crucified. And then Horus, now his fascination with Europe. I'm sorry, not Europe, but Egypt. And then he wears the pyramid rings. There's the pyramid rings there. And now his video called Power. And this has a lot of occult symbology here. There's twin pillars here. There's the light emanating. You can probably find some symbology going. You also have the halo, and this is not a very good image, but anyway, there is the X-rated version as well, and you can find that. But all of those videos that are weird like that have symbology that are completely occultic. And now moving on with Lady Gaga, she is now sitting in a Worshipful Master's chair. You see that Worshipful Master's chair here, an example of that. And here is the square and the compass. And in this case, the square is represented. And of course, appropriately, she's the female. And of course, Hello Kitty adorns her. Moving on, again, here's the Worshipful Master's chair. That square. She's between the two pillars of Freemasonry. She is now on the single pillar of Freemasonry you saw in the previous plate. She is now dressed as Anubis, the god of the dead, and the underworld in Egypt. Now she is dressed as Diana, and you can see all of the breasts here, and she's now representing that as well. Judas, Lady Gaga as Judas. She's not Judas, but in this case, this is Lady Gaga Judas, and of course she's in love with Judas. You can see the replacement of Jesus with Judas here, and the sexual connotations and the lyrics. Oh, 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 I'm in love with Judas. In the most biblical sense, I am beyond repentance. Fame, hooker, prostitute, wench, vomits her mind. But in the cultural sense, I just speak in future tense. Judas, kiss me if offense. Don't wear your condom next time. I want to love you, but something's pulling me away from you. Jesus is my virtue, and Judas is the demon I cling to, I cling to. Pretty obvious. Now let's look at Katy Perry. This is E.T. Genesis 6, sons of God or angels and fallen angels coming on to the daughters of men, creating Nephilim. And now look at the connotation between aliens and fallen angels. Katy Perry and Kanye West is in this video. I got a dirty mind. I got filthy ways. I'm trying to bathe my ape in your Milky Way. Sexual connotation. I'm a legend. I'm irreverent. I'll be a reverend. So I'll be so far up. We don't give a F. Coming to the danger zone. Step into the fantasy. You are not invited to the other side of sanity. They calling me an alien, a big-headed astronaut, another sexual connotation. Maybe it's because your boy Yeezy got ass a lot. Of course, Obama says his favorite is Yeezy. So now, looking at the lyrics of what Katy Perry is, you can see the demonic, now reptilian eyes, fantasizing reality, showing you that aliens are nothing but fantasy. You're so hypnotizing. Could you be the devil? Could you be an angel? They know what aliens are. And in the Christian realm, those who are in the know, they know that we know that aliens are demonic entities, fallen angels. And so now the connotation, could you be the devil? Could you be an angel? Your touch magnetizing, feels like I'm floating, leave my body glowing. They say, be afraid, you're not like the others, futuristic lover. Different DNA. Now, the sons of God coming onto the daughters of men, changing the DNA, created Nephilim or giants. That's in Genesis 6. They don't understand you, or you're from a whole nother world, a different dimension, understanding they're interdimensional rather than extraterrestrial. You open my eyes and I'm ready to go. Lead me into the light. Freemasonry and going into the light. Satan transforms himself into an angel of light. Lucifer, meaning light bearer. We have all of this connotation. Kiss me, infect me with your loving, fill me with your poison or your DNA. Take me, want to be your victim, ready for abduction. So understanding the whole idea behind alien abduction. Boy, you're an alien, your touch so foreign, it's supernatural, extraterrestrial, you're so supersonic, want to feel your power, stun me with your laser, your kiss is cosmic, every move is magic. Boy, you're an alien, your touch so foreign, it's supernatural, extraterrestrial. This is transcendental, and you can continue with the lyrics. Supernatural. Now, what they show, and Kanye West in a space vehicle, then they have, of course, the quintessential alien gray looking, showing the DNA. DNA is language, and the alteration of the DNA by angelic fallen angels. She represents Earth. She is tribal, the red woman with tribal gear or dress and cosmetics, and now she's touched by the alien, and you can see the transformation into the reptilian, showing all of this in flashes of animals having sex. And then this is Kanye's lyrics again. I know a bar out in Mars where they drive in spaceships instead of cars. Cop a Prada suit about the stars, getting stupid high, straight up in the jars. Pocket on Shrek, rockets on deck. Tell me what's next. Alien sex. I'ma disrobe you, then I'ma probe you. See, I abducted you, so I tell you what to do. I tell you what to do, what to do, what to do. They will be in charge. Kiss me, infect me with your loving, fill me with your poison. This should shock anybody. And here she is now, a hybrid, deer type Baphomet hybrid creature. And here's the albino man in a new world after it's been destroyed. This is what the New World Order is about. It's fantasized on television and in the media. And here you have it. And this Katy Perry coming out with a movie this year, 2012. She's big, and she garners your tweens. Look at teens, and she's the teenage dream. Here's this triangle. This is last Friday night. Braces, acting like a teenager, and of course her connotation with the quintessential mind-controlled sex slave Marilyn Monroe, and you see the black and white checkerboard symbolism in that commercial. Now moving on to Nicki Minaj, Out of My Mind. This shows you about mind control and how they ritually abuse. These are fashion shoots that show you the types of rituals in plain sight. Out of My Mind. This is all about schizophrenia, the splitting of the mind, and the attaching of demons in this connotation. Now you see alien spacecraft. You see the Eye of Lucifer in the what is it, graffiti back there. Now you're looking at Nicki Minaj. She's in a straitjacket. People in cells, in insane asylums. Here's your police state doctors. Looks like Nazi Germany. This actually happens. And of course, these people in cells, this person actually comes to the bars and shows you that he's demonically possessed, which shows the demon. Fantasy, my goodness. This is reality on 2D screen, but they are showing you what they're doing. This is beta programming for sex slave when they do wear this print, which is a leopard print or cat type print. And you can see that they're taking this person away, and she is saying, let's be quiet about this. Of course, their dress is in the sexual nursing dress. I'm not going to read all the lyrics, but you can read this lyrics and you can pause the screen. But out of my mind, I'm effing out of my effing mind. Showing you now various personalities and how they do it in the lyrics. This is not art. This is indoctrination into what they do and showing you in plain sight what they do and having you believe that it's not reality. Now, of course, she has her duality methods, single eye in the triangle. All right. Now, variants of doing that single eye symbolism, self-possessed, and of course her demon is Roman, and we saw this in the Grammy Awards. We'll see that a little bit later. Now, on this plate is the band called Muse. This band was chosen to do one of the theme songs for the 2012 Olympics. They're from the UK. You can see here Muse, and you can see the pyramids. You can see the lightning bolts. You can see the hybrid in the pyramidal shape here. The earth is at the top rather than light. We have the single eye symbolism. We have the Vesica Piscis, which is the conjunction of the two circles into this yoni symbol in the center. That is a reference to the female part. You have reference to monarch programming, MK Ultra and monarch programming. You see the split of the personality and the people and the joining in the center as well. This dark entity and the light as well. They're showing you demonic possession with regard to schizophrenia and mind control. That yoni symbol here is the same as the phallic symbol with the yoni on the ground. Earth, female, male, heaven, up. That's the Washington Monument. They are dressed in black and white. This is a life image. He has the caduceus. We saw that in the religion section. And of course the symbol of the horned hand, il cornuto. Now the three-finger method of the il cornuto, and of course the sexual connotation. This is Getty images now, and you see the skulls that he's wearing. Here's the skull. You see that they wear everything occultic. Here's the down pyramid, death, and the earth. Radio City Hall. They are big because the industry wants them big, and they indoctrinate on this level. Here it is, the sexual connotation. Here's sexual connotation. I believe that's Janet, no, I forget her name. We have the single eye symbolism, or the dark and light, just like we saw in the Beatles in the 60s. They are the first boy band. If you think that they're anything special, they were fabricated and manufactured by the industry itself as the first boy band. Here we are, we saw this before, the reflection, and then the touching or the showing you of the eye, illumination or intellect of the head, and we have now eye in the triangle. Eye in the triangle, he actually closes the eye in the triangle there in his videos. Here's the eye of Horus, eye of Lucifer, same thing. Now looking at their trip to Washington, D.C., they understand that their founding fathers were into the occult and were Freemasons and were Luciferian. Satan gives them power over the earth. Here's Al Gore. Here's them taking a picture with the apotheosis of Washington. We saw that. 72 stars around, all of these pagan gods and goddesses around Washington. Double-headed eagles and taking pictures with the Washington Monument. Anything that you can do to show your allegiance. Here's a double-headed eagle taking pictures with that. Here's that single column, Masonic single column, and you saw that with Washington in previous plates, and this is just a hybrid or different variant of that single column. There's that lead singer, and then you have how they like to show you columns and squares and the sun as the intellect, but this is all Luciferian symbolism and ritual. As above, so below. Look at this. Reflection, as above, so below. Same as the Washington Monument. This is all Masonic, Luciferian. As above, showing you the two fingers or the sign of the benediction of Rome, and the earth. As above, heaven, the earth. So below. Getty Images. Classic symbolism that you can interpret on your own. Again, the reflection, the sign of the benediction, and here, again, pretty obvious. As above, so below. We should understand the symbolism at this point. Now, looking at John Lennon, what John Lennon did, we've seen enough of the Beatles to understand that they were Freemasonic, Kabbalists. This is all mystery religions from Babylon. Here's the owl that they have here. Continuing on, and you see that obvious checkerboard symbolism, Getty Images now, checkerboards, Freemasonic, dualism, and then we have now founding fathers in that Washington. They dress in black and white. They dress in checkers. Checkers again. Look at what they dress in. Skulls, skulls, skulls and bones on album covers. Checkerboards on album covers, pentacles on album covers. Continuing on, black and white, top hats of Freemasonry, Satanism in the colors, Luciferianism in the top hats, showing you who they belong to, black and red, black and white in their videos, between the columns highlighted. Look at the rituals that they have in the videos. This is looks like a mind control slave that has been split and now at the liberty of this person who's hidden themselves and now in control. Horned animals on the wall. Yeah, he's holding a pick, but that is also the 666 symbol. The crossing of the arms, again in Freemasonry we saw that, which is Osiris, Isis, Horus, the sun god, reference to the sun as well, and that's Stephen King. We're going to see that a little bit later at the end. MK Ultra. Now you can see on the album cover, fantasizing reality. MK Ultra in your face, on the hands, and in the video. And we're seeing now what I believe to be an actual mind control girl. She's now being subject to this. Who in their right mind would put the symbol for Mercury on this? This is all astrological, alchemical. This is all occult. You can see the reference now with the buns to a Mickey style or Mickey Mouse and that Disney connotation. This is serious. She is a little girl. Now she's got makeup on and they've put her in this element. I want people to take a good hard look at what's going on here. MK Ultra, mind control from Project Paperclip from the Nazi generation. We know that this is mind control. This program is still around. This is called satanic ritual abuse. You split the personalities through torture and you attach demonic entities or demons to this, and they do this to their own children and to children that they get. Don't believe me? Just look at it. Let's read the lyrics. The wavelength gently grows. Coercive notions re-evolve. A universe is trapped inside a tear. It resonates the core, creates unnatural laws. They are breaking laws here. Replaces love and happiness with fear. How much deception can you take? How many lies will you create? This is the depth of abuse and what they do to you. How much longer until you break? Your mind's about to fall, and they are breaking through. They are breaking through. Now we're falling. We are losing control. Invisible to all. Invisible to all. The mind becomes a wall. All of history deleted with one stroke. How much deception can you take? How many lies will you create? How much longer until you break? Your mind's about to fall, and they are breaking through. They are breaking through. Now we're falling. We are losing control. Can you understand what is going on in satanic ritual abuse? Do you believe this, or are you just going to deny what's happening in plain sight with you, with the world, and how they control us? So here again, Marilyn Monroe on a Muse poster. She's the classic mind control sex slave presidential version. And here you see it again. Twin Peaks was all about, that series was about satanically ritual abused woman who was found dead. And here is that mind control person. You see this in insane asylums. They wear a mask. This is sickness. HARP. I'm not sure if many people have heard of HARP. HARP is weather modification. An ionosphere. You can read about this. Installations of HARP. You can read about this on the internet, about how they throw ions into the heat up the ionosphere. They can direct these beams or to control weather. Here it is, HARP, fantasizing reality, fictionalizing reality. These are actual HARP installations. Their whole set is on the HARP agenda, and look at the triangles emanating the light. And we'll see that in the last plate here on the Olympics. You'll see the design there. You can see black and white, or black and red, and we've already seen this before. This is a song called Unnatural Selection. You can pause the screen here to read the lyrics, but it talks about them. They are exposing the New World Order for themselves. It also talks about peaceful protests turning into more than just peaceful protests. So violence against this New World Order, anarchy, and chaos is what they are promoting in this section. In this plate, we're looking at clothing brands. We'll start with Ruka. This is very popular where I come from and now around the world. Ruka, R-U-C-A, the balance of opposites, another exoteric meaning to an esoteric term. As above, so below, same as the yin and yang, black and white. We see the V and the A here now being used as the square and the compass of Freemasonry. You can see the connotation now that Seal of Solomon, which is the Star of David. This is an occult symbol. It's called the Kiyun or the Remphan in the Bible. Acts chapter 7, I believe, is the Remphan. It's referred to as the Remphan. And in Amos, it's referred to as the Kiyun. I could be wrong on those references, but you can look it up. Now, the V and the A, square and compass, and you see the square and compass in Freemasonry. Their label in the back shows the classic checkerboard. Griffins. Now you see the balance of opposites. Here's dawn, here's dusk, here's nature, here's city. Now you have the reflection and the backwards writing. We know that that is done constantly. Now a classic yin and yang type symbol, as above, so below. So the black with the white V, and then the um, white with a black A, and you have now references to lightning bolts, as above, so below. The checkerboard, that is their classic design, and the triangle up and below. Easy to decipher now. And now the joining of the the V and the A together, as above, so below. Handshakes, we've seen this connotation in Freemasonry. This is actually called the Masonic owl, and you can see that on the website. Here's the owl. That's the owl of Minerva. This is the eye, the pyramid, and the eye of Lucifer. We should understand this clearly. Oh, and look at the bottom, 33. There's 33. There's that lightning bolt, as above, so below. It's embedded into this brand. Ruka, you see the pentagram, and you see 33 at the bottom. The double-headed eagle of the Roman Empire and Freemasonry. Now here's Leo Romero. They promote. This guy's supposed to be an artist, but look what he paints. He uses this. That's his design. Feathered serpent spitting lightning bolts. I mean, seriously, are you an artist? Here he is with the 666 signs. Here's the checkerboards. There he is with his installation. And the dualism, and the horned beast or animal. You can see the dualism here as well. I mean, this is feathered serpent spitting lightning bolts. They know what they're doing. Here is that Zeus connotation, or the god of lightning. Lightning, lightning, and what does he do? He paints skate decks, which are skateboards, and single eye symbolism there. Pretty obvious. Now moving on Ruka, you see the triple cross in this design. You see the crescent moon and star. You see the eye. All of that. Here, your mind is ours. Psychic warfare, psychological warfare on us. They own us. They put everything on television, movies. They own us because they own our minds, and they make us pay to wear their brands. This is Babylon, the winged lion. Satan rides alone. Opposites. Here's Ruka again. You can see on a patch. Ruka. What is the A? The A is the pyramid with capstone. We can see that here. A, actual pain. A at the top for the pyramid with capstone. A, actual pain. The pyramid with capstone. There's Kanye West actually promoting this brand. Here is Kanye wearing actual pain, the brand. This is John the Baptist's head on a platter. You can see that here. Mr. Crowley, conceived in the eye of a secret. This is a satanic brand being promoted at the highest level of music. Of course, he doesn't look like a Satanist, so everybody just questions and says, oh gosh, they don't look like a heavy metal guy. Here they are. This is Egypt, the Ankh. Look at the hexagram. Here is the Eye of Horus and the reference to Satanism. This is the Kabbalah. This is the 10 Sephiroth of the Kabbalah, and the snake intertwined. So Kabbalism to Gnosticism to Freemasonry, Satanism and Luciferian, all the mystery religions, all from Babylon, all false, and Lucifer worship. I am magical, and you can see here. Sympathy for the devil, the crescent moon, psychic circle, astrology, skull, skulls and bones, witches. You can see the triangle here, witches coven, devil television, now MTV. This should be obvious to us. Copyrights again broken. and MTV would allow it, and their brand is being promoted by Kanye West, they know that their television is of the devil and Satan. Skinner, this is key. Crucifixions, that's why they wear crosses. Satanists can wear crosses because what they do in their ritual is they crucify people underground and they skin them alive. And they drink their blood because the blood contains the adrenaline and they get a rush out of it. Don't believe me? Go ahead. Deny what the world is. Deny that the religion of Lucifer exists. Here's Fall, not Paul. You can read about that if you want. Diana. Now Mickey. Copyrights. Now. Again. What do you see? Marilyn Monroe. This is their death book. It's called Death Book. This is actual pain on their website. Freemason Shriner telling a secret. This person is now veiled. He can't reveal that secret. He looks mind controlled. Now this kitty symbol, he's holding on to this little kitten. Here's a mind control victim, as I would see it and understand it. There they are, playing their rituals. Here's Mao Zedong, founder of communism and atheist China, killed millions. And then you have these rituals going on. Here's the cross, and that's defaced. And then you have this woman here now being painted, and this person is coming. Bizarre rituals going on, and this, we don't know what that is, 3D, whatever. You can put on some glasses and find that out, or just nonsense. Now this a girl wearing the Chanel sign, which is the Vesica Pisces in the middle. She's the female, and vulgarity. Can you see what's going on? Do you understand? Can you interpret what is going on? Or is it just still fantasy to you? Continue on with branding, and you can see the triangle with eye, the eye of Lucifer. Unif Clothing, Lil Wayne promotes this brand. Here he is with a hat. Here's the as above, so below crucifixes. We can interpret this, and what we should interpret here is how they put garbage into your mind. Death and garbage indoctrinating you. I mean, seriously, what you put into your mind controls you, and it's obvious garbage. Here's the lightning bolt of Unif Clothing, lightning bolt, Luke 10:18. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Here's Selena, the Disney product. This is the Nero's cross as the peace sign, and you can see the skull and bones there. Peace bones. Selena and her boyfriend Justin Bieber. 666. 666 with the third eye in the forehead. The Hindus wear the third eye. It is the eye, spiritual eye, and in this case, they're showing you what is going on. Gym, tan, laundry. If you're really busy, Satan's right in the middle of your busy life. Life, sex, and death. And look at the connotations. Pentagrams, money, crosses left and right, crucifixes. Is this meant to be read right side up or upside down? In this case, upside down. And look at the brand. Here it is. Upside down cross, control minds. And I am proposing to you and telling you she is a mind-controlled slave. When she got beat up by Chris Brown, supposedly, that was her conditioning and her humiliation, public humiliation. You understand what these people do? They bring spirits in. Do you see the Satanism going on? And again, copyright infringements, trademark infringements, Mickey being promoted by Disney product Selena, and here is Mickey. They own the copyright. This is called Disneyland. They know exactly what this brand is doing, Unif Clothing, and they have no qualms about it because Disney was involved in MK Ultra and pedophilia and all of that satanic stuff. Let's continue on. Here's the UNIF, die in peace. There, this is actually how Christians were crucified. It's called Nero's cross, upside down. There's also now in the runic alphabet, which witches and witchcraft uses. Of course, it's turned out to be a peace symbol. But look, peace, love, and wicked witches. They understand where it comes from. Continuing on with the peace symbol. Peace. Now that peace sign is the sign of the benediction. Understanding this. And the peace symbol everywhere. Lenny Kravitz. Here's Chanel. And you can see the Vesica Pisces and the 2 pentagrams. Continuing on, same clothing brand, by the way. Here's Bestiality with Bambi. Don't mind if I do. Promoting drugs. They don't care. They got you either way. You're an atheist, Satan has you. You're Luciferian, you want money, fame, fortune, he has you. The only thing that saves you is Jesus, and that's who they hate. There's 666 on Biggie Smalls. Another brand you can take a look at. Here's 666 everywhere. This is Tyler the Creator. Madonna. 669. We know the sexual connotation there. 69. 666. Dragon Ball Z. Satan. Mr. Satan. Well, they do it everywhere. Baby number 666. And they use the yin and yang symbol. We should understand that's not just East. 666. Ellen DeGeneres and her commercial, I think that's J.C. Penney. He has 666 on the forehead right here. That's a movie. This is in Harry Potter and Monster Energy. 3 Vavs. The Vav is the symbol with a stroke, a small stroke to the right and down, and you can see the 3 strokes of this made to look like a monster. Monster, of course, refers to the beast. Monster Energy. 3 Vavs, and we see also that in the Volkswagen logo, VW in the circle, 3 V's, 3 Vavs representing 6. We understand that in the barcodes. Not all barcodes are like this, but I've seen them repeatedly, but those are the number 6s. Moving quickly through this brand, Obey, very big clothing brand. It's from the movie They Live, and this guy puts on these glasses, and of course he sees everybody in this sort of Matrix movie showing you that this is obey, consume, watch TV. We are controlled on a level, and of course they portray these guys with skulls and sort of aliens. And so this brand started with this obey motif and this slogan. And of course, look at there is the giant. And what is the giant? The giants are Genesis 6, sons of God coming on to the daughters of men, creating Nephilim, also known as gigantes or giants. And here we have Andre the Giant. So understanding that these brands have biblical connotations and content, and so we can see the symbology, the use of the giant. We are unaware, most are unaware of what these connotations mean. So the Nephilim, or the giants of Genesis 6, the eye of Lucifer, and of course our quintessential Illuminati pyramid with eye of Lucifer, new order of the world. These are early depictions of that brand. They get big because they are sold out to the devil, and your brand doesn't go large until you do. Here it is. Single eye symbolism. Triangles. Referencing 1984, George Orwell. Pentagrams. That's their brand. You can see some of the lightning bolts that they use. Skulls. I believe this one has the Shriner Freemasonry on it. Let's move along quickly. There is a reference here to Freemasonry. This is time, the winged time, and I don't have that image here, but that is a reference. That's a cult. And then we have the owl, black and white on this woman. Of course, the peace sign, which is Nero's cross, anti-Christian. And then the sign of the benediction. Here's a reference to China and Mao. And the Queen of Heaven, or Mary, both in the Islamic sense and the Western sense. And moving on, war and peace, peace and death, and war, all of this kind of Hegelian dialectic playing. Six, six, six. Obey. Here's the upside down crucifix. And look at connotation to Mickey. Kind of looks like Mickey. We'll see. Moving on again to some case studies. Nickelodeon and the House of Anubis. This is crossbreeding Roman Catholicism. This is a Catholic school or high school with the religion of Egypt. And Roman Catholicism is paganism. It is stemming from Babylon and those mysteries, so this is should not be a surprise to us. The checkerboard of Freemasonry, the dualism going on. Here are the connotations to Egypt. You see the Egyptian. There is Anubis. Again, the checkerboard on the side here. And they show you rituals, down triangles, Druidic priest. This is all secret society stuff. And of course, all of the actors and actresses do the single eye symbology. Can it be any clearer to us? This is Britney Spears, now Glee. She does the horns. We've seen that in the Il Cornuto plates early on. The triangles up, single eye symbology. Again, single eye symbology with abuse. We just don't get it. We think it's just fashion and art. Charisse, this is a Life magazine, a Life image, so we understand earlier plates the reverence toward Egypt, and so here she is with the pyramid. Oh, she's Filipino, and she has all of those people indoctrinated. Now we have the 666. We have the horned animals. We have the owls. We have the hexagrams. We have Wicca and witchcraft. And we have the single eye triangle and the 666 in the other eye. Kardashian was on there. Now she's putting the star or the pentacle in the eye, showing you the single eye symbolism. And now look at her home, black and white checkerboards. She even had a black and white wedding. Her child, I don't know if that's her child or a relative, but here we are. Skull and bones. Look at the checkerboards everywhere, black and white. This is, it should be obvious to us, but we just don't know because we don't research it. Here's Richardson, Terry Richardson, slimy photographer, if you can ever say he is. Of course he wears the crucifix. Yeah, he's Christian. I believe he's also a homosexual, but in this case, he does a photo shoot for GQ magazine. Here's Glee, and you can see the sexual connotation. I don't have all the images. It's a little more raunchier than this. There's the G of Glee. The 3 bars, if you don't understand what the 3 bars are in Hinduism, or the 3 stripes, they are the representation of the male phallus, and I can't explain it here, but also the G symbolism here. So understand that everything has meaning in these images. I think Jay-Z came out with a album with the 3 stripes on it. Adidas is the brand of 3 stripes. So we have cupcakes, pentacles going on. Kreishon, I believe she is a prime example of mind control. Kreishon here, now the sexual connotation, as we can see. Mickey ears, sign of the benediction. Look at the photo shoot that Terry Richardson does. Alcohol. The third eye, or eye of Lucifer in the spiritual eye. He's saying, yes, I got her. Now she's praying. That is the sign of, in witchcraft, sign of the moon or the female. And the single eye symbolism with the sexual connotation. Here's Terry Richardson again with another mind control slave. And of course he's having fun. And she's doing the eye in the triangle. Dressing up like Marilyn Monroe. Here she is, looking odd, showing you the middle finger. Here's Marilyn Monroe. Do you see it, or is it just really going past your head and you can't quite understand that this is all mind controlled? MK Ultra, Project Paperclip. She doesn't look well, does she? And look at the connotation now. Crucifixion. As above, so below, between the pillars of Freemasonry. You have the female kitten connotation with the fur, and the prince in other, leopard prince in other sections. Lady Sovereign of the United Kingdom. Eye in the triangle. Triangles and eyes, black and white. Black and white checkerboards. We've seen some of these images before. Black and white triangles. The eye with top hats of Freemasonry. Continuing on, life image. We saw this in the original plate. The skull and the bones, or lightning bolts. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. The Il Cornuto. Continuing on. Here is the hugely successful and popular Twilight series and Forbidden Fruit. And you see the blood connotation. Of course, this is exalting vampirism, drinking of the blood. The Bible says the life is in the blood, and that's what vampires do, drink the life. And they are after our lives and our souls. In this case, look at the single eye symbolism, the spiritual eye, the eye of Lucifer. This is sick. Sick fashion. Single eye symbolism. You can see here now, there's that bindi, or that connotation of the opening of the spiritual eye. In this case, the bullet hole. I mean, what is going on here? Opening up of the bowel? Sex and videotapes and split personalities? Same actresses now? Male-female hybrids going on? This whole decade has been fascinated with vampires. And it's all supposed to be fantasized for you to take in. This is vampirism. This is what they show. Evil on screen so you can get entertained by it. They suck you in and they kill you and kill your soul for eternity. 666 Park Avenue, you see the connotation of the checkerboards in Freemasonry. And that is airing. I believe it just aired. This is 2012 in the fall. And I might have a little more information on that later. Now let's look at the 2012 Super Bowl halftime show. This is Madonna. When you are in the industry, you're in the industry for life, and they bring you back for all of this national, international stage. Here's Anderson Cooper. She says that the Super Bowl, and you can look this up on Anderson Cooper, the Super Bowl, she's going to have church at the Super Bowl, and that the Super Bowl is the Holy of Holies. And so she is having church, and that is exactly what they do. They have church for their religion right on stage for you on global television, and you have no clue that it is church for you because you follow this. Here's Madonna's logo, the X and the wings. We'll see that later. The reference to Rome and Egypt, all of these elite kingdoms that we understand in the Bible already. Givenchy, which designed the costumes for her, the houses of fashion are all owned by the elite. You can see now the winged elements to her dress. She is on the chariot here. You can see the chariot in the tarot card, and in this tarot card with the woman riding the chariot. You see the connotations. All of these mystery religions are interconnected. Now she's in her second outfit. There's the outfit itself. This is Anubis at the top. She's dressed in a Roman style costume. Now you can see clearly that that crown is an Anubis type crown. There's the Egyptian Ankh, god of the dead. Now Mercury here is represented with the harp. There's other gods represented. Mercury now stole this, I believe, from, Apollo, I believe. And so you see Hermes, which is a French fashion house, and then Nero depicted in a film with the harp. Their religion is a single religion stemming all the way back to Babylon. Here's the three-horned. You can look that up as well. Now, this is key as an image. At the end of this segment, she freezes and gives the as above, so below sign. She also does this strange thing with her fingers, and you're going to see that shortly. Now here is the as above, so below. You can see how clear that is. Are you a Mason? And you see the fingers now in the center joined. They can't always do it exactly. Macy's now 150. We can see now and interpret fashion on this level. As above, so below. As above, male aspect. And he is naked here, as so below, female aspect. And she is naked here. She is the mannequin. They can't have pornography on there, so they put the mannequin on there. This is appropriate for Macy's because it's a Macy's department store. And then we have Christina Aguilera here playing the hybrid of the male and female. Black and white dress. She's doing as above, so below. And the sexual connotation with Freemasonry and that symbol in the center. Very basic if you understand what symbology is and how they play it. Otherwise, this is just, oh gosh, it's just weird fashion. Interesting. Now you can see these are no coincidences. Closing or blinking of the eye. Here's the sign of Baphomet, or the horned hand. Now collaborating with the new artists and the new puppets. Nicki Minaj. I forget her name, but she does the vulgarity. Now in the last segment, this is the segment on Like a Prayer, and if you understand the lyrics of that, that is praying to Satan in the midnight hour. I can feel your power. She's dressed now in the third outfit of Givenchy, which is the high priestess, all in black. This is a black mass in your face. You can see the light emanating here on stage. Now she is joined by this man. He's, I think that's his X Factor. I'm not sure what his name is. But now they're holding this black mass. You can see that. They get raised up on stage. And now you can see the logo, what the logo represents here. This is the X of Osiris, Isis, Horus, X, also representative of the sun, and the wings of the M. So that is the sun disk with wings. And you can see that because in the same segment, they show you the winged disk of Egypt. There it is. And this is the X or the cross and the winged disk of Egypt here. This is Isis with the X. You can see that they cross the arms this way. Now moving on with the diamond shape, which represents enlightenment or the elite as well, both connotations in spiritual enlightenment. You see the diamond here. There's a brand called with Diamond Company, I believe that's what it's called. Then we have the triangle up, triangle down, black and white. Dualism going on. Vogue in this segment. V-O-G-U-E off screen. And of course G happens to be in the center. G, the generative principle of the sex act. And you see the single eye symbolism with the lips of red, sexual connotations. And what do we see here? The owl of Minerva hidden up above. You see the owl here. Here's the two eyes. Here are the horn elements of the bird, and then the wings. The owl of Minerva there, and then your feet as well. Single eye symbolism. Again, all of the symbols being represented. And what do we have at the end? World peace. This is what they want to show you, that they are after world peace, but how they work is chaos and war, perpetrating chaos and war to bring about a new system, and you are going to be crying and screaming for world peace in this case. And what do? They attack religion and say religion is the cause of the division of the people. We need to move together. A humanistic view is this. A biblical view is to understand that all of this is prophecy, and these evil people are behind this whole New World Order push. They manipulate you. Look at the bird, the phoenix. And this is cleverly done because the uniforms themselves have white on the middle, and when the light emanates from underneath, it looks very three-dimensional. So that is clever. They are creative in that sense. Here's the bird again, and world peace. The bird rising, the firebird, the phoenix ashing. That is their occult resurrection symbol, and is the bird coming from the ashes. The bird, the earth now. The fallen earth going to be reborn in the occult realm. Now we have the women appropriately wearing phoenixes with the pearl. In our state, Hawaii, you see the phoenix. You understand that these states and this nation and all of these nations have their foundations in the occult. And so you have the Mithraic hat, which is a red hat in other seals, but you see the phoenix there. Here we're looking at 30 Seconds to Mars, and they are known for the owls of Ga'Hoole. They're all over Hollywood, and now you can see the symbol they use, the uncapped or the capped pyramid with capstone, using the Illuminati pyramid. This is war, calling to arms. Here's the X symbol we saw previously representing the sun, and Osiris, Isis, Horus. We have Mars, the single eye symbology, the phoenix symbology, which is occult resurrection. Moving on, now they do the 666, and they say, talk about Lucifer in their videos. Power, Lucifer, split second, you can see that in. We should understand that it's indoctrination, it's brainwashing. Okay, Legends of the Guardians, they did the theme song for that. Of course, this is the owl of Minerva, or the owls of Minerva. The Illuminati pyramid, hand sign, the single eye symbology, eye in the triangle, crossing the hands, which is X or Osiris, and Lucifer and Horus, all of the same god, single eye symbology, red and black for Satanism. I mean, call it fantasy if you want. Yeah, this is a cult. In plain sight, on stage for you. Yes, it's just entertainment, isn't it? Just keep telling yourself. Pyramids, the religion of Egypt, black and white, promoting war. They are all about war. Don't think that they're not. Here is triangles. Those are split seconds. Now looking at Nicki Minaj and her performance at the Grammys 2012. This is a Catholic bishop or priest. She's dressed in Versace and red. She comes and confesses her on confession, Catholic confession. She now has eyes in the back of the head representing demonic possession. I show you that in the pentagram early on in this series. Roman is her demon, and again, mind control, demonic possession, schizophrenia. She is playing out one of her alter egos, which is Roman. Here's the Catholic connotation to all of that. Psychologically, what does this do? On one end, it sympathizes for the Catholic Church when the Catholic Church says, no, I don't want this to happen. So people have sympathy and say, oh, Catholicism must be good. They are Christian. On the other note, it shows you what Catholicism is really about. So the people in the know that Catholicism is pagan. It's Babylonian in origin. And you can see that in my other earlier videos in this series. And so now you see the demonic possession and her being levitated in that possession. Michael Jackson, Thriller, black and white connotations again, satanic, checkerboards of Freemasonry, and I'm going to show the screen here. Go ahead and read these lyrics. This is Demerol. Demerol is morphine. He was when he died, he was shown to have taken an overdose in Demerol. When you are reading these lyrics, think about there are 3 different personalities here in these lyrics. I can count 3 myself. But if you cannot understand the weirdness and the understanding of what this is all about, drug inducement, satanic ritual abuse, we saw early on what Michael Jackson was doing as far as single eye symbology, eye in the triangle. Here's his doctor, supposedly, but look what he's dressed in, Freemasonry. Here's that sign. They take you down. It doesn't matter if you're a Freemason or not. They will take you down. It's cut and dry as far as Satanism is concerned. He will lift you up and he will take you down in a heartbeat. And somebody will satanically and ritually murder you as a ritual. So here he is. What is this? Music Video Awards, MTV. I forget what year this is, but this is in the 20th century. And you can see the connotation to the octopus and the Freemasonry and those colors. Now let's understand Whitney Houston and her ritual. And I call it a ritual because in the outside world, she is a Baptist and she's a gospel singer. But what in the world are Egyptian sarcophaguses doing on the back of the mortuary where all of the actors and the musicians and the dignitaries came through to go see the body pay their last respects to Whitney? On through the night, these sarcophaguses are there. Remember, outwardly they are Roman Catholic or they are Christian and they hold a Bible and go into church and do the church thing. Inwardly they are somebody different. And this is in previous plates I show you this. Now look, she's showing the X symbology. This is not, oh, I'm sorry, Whitney, I feel for you. She is clearly showing the X symbology, as is Mary J. Blige here and Aleister Crowley. You see the X symbology. This is similar. This is Osiris going on. And these are examples of that X symbology. X factor and the symbol of the X. Moving on, and you can see it clearly because that's the devil sign being associated with the X sign. Now, when this actor died, Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace, and here is the X symbolism. We should understand what that means. And in Freemasonry, we do have the X symbol in the Masonic Lodge. You can pause and read about that in the Super Excellent Master's degree. It all references Egypt and Babylon. Now we saw this, the Knights Templar cross and crown. This is not a Christian symbol. This is the phallic symbol. This is the female part, and this is the male part. This is in our churches. They have infiltrated most of our churches. And you can see here Jesse Jackson, here 33rd degree Jesse Jackson on this live taping of Whitney Houston's funeral. Here is the music industry guy. Now, look at her mother. She's wearing the leopard print. She has that as her lapel. That's Whitney Houston's mom. She's not wearing anything here, but when the casket is brought out, look what she wears. Can we recognize what that is? With the two women adorning her in stripes? It's the headpiece. They're showing you in plain sight who Whitney is, where she comes from, and in plain sight on national television where their allegiance lies. The god of Egypt. These are children brought up in that. Look at, she's wearing black and white and the X symbol here. Now Oprah Winfrey. This is Oprah's next chapter, and she's talking about Whitney's and her family, interviewing her. Look it on the wall. Be still and know that I am. The actual verse is, be still and know that I am God. Not that I am, we are individually, but God is saying this, and they took out the key word. Not only do they have that, here's Buddha in this segment. You see that? Here's the black and white symbology, and that end of that, it's very sad. They cry and they show again, be still and know that I am. Now they're crossbreeding religion, and in the Bible it's called religious fornication or harlotry. This is Revelation 17, a woman riding the beast. Read all about it, understand it. It's here. Now, moving quickly through this plate, Satanism and its colors, quintessential colors of Satanism, red and black. There are other colors. I'll show you those a little later. One example, anyway, you see here Marilyn Manson and this militaristic top hat going on, red and black. Lady Gaga and the Queen of England in this ritual ceremony. She performed for the Queen of England. She is dressed in black, and you see the black and red connotation going on. Is that just a little strange or not? She's a Knight of Malta, is the Queen of England, and she is, of course, the puppet for these elite masters. She is not even the top of the elite anyway. She's out in public and allowed to be rule her world, but she has no real power whatsoever. Now here we have the black and red of My Chemical Romance. Here's Clinton now bowing down to Bush, getting an honorary degree, and that black and white, these are ministerial robes, as you saw in the last segment of religion. Justin Bieber now, and they are broadcasting or taping their video at near a Masonic lodge anyway, and you see the checkerboard symbolism in this video itself. There's the Kabbalah represented in the ribbon, dressed in black and red. We saw Shiny, the top Korean pop band. You see the reference, black and white with the lightning bolt. It's all about it because their second album was called Lucifer. Shiny. You can see now also the black and white going on. The Jonas Brothers and the checkerboard. And he wears the Aleister Crowley t-shirt. Oh man. Okay, black and white. This is his tombstone. Continuing on, now MK Ultra mind control with doll play. This whole world is Alice in Wonderland. That's what they put these people in, and they have that reference to Alice in Wonderland, the altered mind. Look at the reference again, mind control to Disney. Look at this sick image of Disney, single eye symbolism. This is what they're putting people through in our faces. Now here is Tina Fey. Look at, she is now in this role play, slaving away, drinking, putting her makeup on, strangely, checkerboards, red and black, closing one eye again, vomiting, and in this whole police state control going on. Parnassus, we saw that single eye symbology, but this is in the movie itself, and you see the connotation again to the checkerboards. This is Erland Oy, DJ, Getty Images showing that he's wearing the stripes. Getty Images showing that they're referencing Mickey. They love it. This is history for them. History in the making. Prada and that whole fashion shoot. This is Blue Oyster Cult. This is called the Cross of Confusion. You see the question mark upside down. You see the pyramid itself, and you see all of the black and white checkerboards and symbolism. And look at the dancers here, all showing you the single eye as they are supposed to do. Puppets. This plate looks at Glenn Beck first, Fox News. This is the right-wing conservative network for all of you right-wing conservative people. CNN would be the left-wing liberal network. And so Glenn Beck, the Mormon, looking at who he is, he's designed to solidify the right-wing movement. And you see G for Glenn Beck. Kind of interesting, even his logo still on his website has this duality going on. In addition to that, of course, the G, yes, Glenn, the representation of that G in the Masonic Lodge and the illumination around this. Yes, he's got a radio show and program, okay, trying to put something together, but understanding quintessentially what he is now. And look at closely what he does. Faith of the Founding Fathers, showing you, telling the Christian right that they can bet for sure that their Founding Fathers were all Christian. The evangelical vote here, now a Mormon and evangelical Christian now going on national television for you, solidifying the right-wing Christian movement. This is all divide and conquer. They have us 50-50 in this country, and they have us against each other. Look at what they do. Faith, Hope, Charity, all Freemasons here. George Washington, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, who cut his Bible up. Faith, Hope, Charity is a Masonic slogan. Look at this effort for them to go and tell you. We know FDR is a 4-time Shriner Luciferian Freemason. Look at this. He was responsible for the Federal Reserve and the Federal Reserve Act in 1913 during his administration, and Obama, bringing everybody together, whether you're Christian or not. Is there any contradiction between this at all? For them, no, because they're all Freemasons. And David Barton, the poster boy for this movement on the right-wing Christian realm, that our Founding Fathers were Freemasons. Wow, what a big piece of nonsense this is. And then his clothing brand, you see the square, and you see the skulls, and you see the skull and bones that he wears. Washington, the Freemason, reverence for Founding Fathers. Give me a break. 1791 was the laying of the foundation stone of the Washington itself. And you see now he's against tyranny. Yeah, right. What this is secret societies and the elite. Wow. They got us going on their esoteric, exoteric meaning for us, esoteric, inside, initiate meaning for them. We show you clearly that Mormons are Freemasons. Go look back at the religion plate. Here's the compass itself. This whole brand is based in Freemasonry. Look at the eye that he's showing you, and look how he acts. Are you serious? Do we take these people seriously? Oh man, it's their television, and you're buying into it. You see that symbology? That is the triangle down. We've seen that before, haven't we? Give me a break. If you're left-wing liberal hating Glenn Beck, it's designed for you to hate Glenn Beck. Yes, we can, Obama. Interesting thing to note, if you reverse this and you record Yes We Can in one of your iPhone apps that you can actually hear it reverse, that whole campaign is Thank You Satan in reverse. Yes We Can is Thank You Satan in reverse. Believe it if you want to believe it, if it's coincidence, whatever. He's shown as Shiva here, God of all things. They play it. The entire design of the Democratic stage when he got elected that year was the Temple of Zeus. Oh my God, here's the convention showing you Dems erect Obama Temple on the New York Post. CERN, which is the collider, atomic collider, destroy. Here's appropriately Shiva the Destroyer. And you can see now Shiva, now this was donated by these dignitaries, I think Persian. And then CERN, again, you can see that the statue and the shadow it casts there. God particle is what they're looking for. Appropriately, they have Shiva here. Now moving on, here's Apple. Steve Jobs, Buddhist, and his partner, I forget him, but he was into the occult. Steve Jobs passed away 2011. Here's the original Apple, Newton's Apple, yeah, sure. Understanding that the first Apple was sold for $666.66. Bite into an apple, or the forbidden fruit. Where did they come from? And here is a apple 2 and the connotation of the snake and Adam here. That is the forbidden fruit with a bite out of it. Think different. Naturally, dragon speaking, this is a speech recognition software. Appropriately, the dragon coming back to the New World Order, the whole world together. You see here the 666, the colors and the negative. So 6, 6, and the 6 in the 3 colors represented there. Cleverly hidden. And Gmail and Google, very similar to the Masonic apron. Moving on, if there was a cross at this education nation funded by Rockefeller, here's the star here, the pentagram or the pentagon, and then you have the Prometheus, stealing knowledge or wisdom and enlightenment from the gods. That is a religious symbol with astrological signs all the way around this on national television for your children and your teachers to be adorned with. Like I said, if there was Christianity represented there, it would be all over with. They would have a fit. But there is a religious symbol of the elite, Prometheus there, a god, now being reverenced on national television. Oh, no problem. Early childhood initiative, you can understand what that eye in the triangle represents. Religion is infused in society. It does not matter. It is part of our lives. We'll never get rid of religion. There will always be religion. And so understanding that regular playing cards are the lower arcana of tarot cards. Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. They've simply changed the suits. You play with tarot cards when you play. Now look at a woman honored for stopping a flasher. This has got to be a joke, and they do this periodically. She is holding a phallus, and so now she's honored for stopping a flasher. She's called a shiro, and there you have, she's holding the phallus. Very cleverly done. Now let's look at some album covers, and we're getting close to the end of this final section, which will be the end of the whole thing. Anthrax, and you can see the pentacles and the lightning bolts and the skull and bones, the greater of two evils. T-Pain and the reference to the top hat and Freemasonry. Here's this 666 sign. 3 rings or 33 degrees in Freemasonry. There is the sun rays behind him, all occult symbology. Lincoln Park, and you can see the griffins on both sides here. That's used in the occult. You can look at old hotels and buildings. They have griffins everywhere. This is a bird-lion hybrid. And then you have the Lincoln Park and the triangle in the circle. Moving on, Behemoth, and you can see that infinity sign with a double cross, the double-headed phoenix. Moving on, the sun rays behind. Incubus, very clear that this is an owl, the owl of Minerva, the single eye of the owl itself with the Nero's cross. And what else is there? There's the phoenix here underneath. I know it's not as clearly seen, but you have all of this occult symbology there, and of course the sun symbol behind. And we saw this earlier in the pentagram. I believe this is the pentagram in the middle with this maze here. The winged disc, anarchy, the winged disc of Egypt. Pretty obvious. Should be pretty obvious. Look at the arch of Freemasonry. We've seen that. The 2 pillars. Lily Allen. You can see the occult symbology here now that you saw this in the Baphomet, the intertwining serpent coming up. Look at the police going on with that 7-pointed star here, and then the crown. That's England. She's from the UK. Lightning bolts and the devil sign. Checkerboards behind. The sign of the benediction. King with a lion there. I don't know if there's wings on that representing Babylon, but anyway, moving on. They do it all. You can see clearly checkerboards. This is the Rolling Stones. Saturn, Cayenne, representing that star. Saturn, if you look at the talisman of Saturn, it is a hexagram and pentagram together with the bull. No doubt the return of Saturn. This all represents Satan. Okay, don't believe me if you don't get it. Here's Saturn, very clear, interesting representation of this cross of confusion. Here's the talisman of Saturn. You see the bull. This was the calf that was being erected in gold in Egypt that God said not to do, and Moses had to put a stop to this. Clearly against this religion, the Bible is. And so you have now the broken pentagram. This is Boots, I believe, of the United Kingdom. Let's move on with Superman. Does this look like a serpent to you? No, it doesn't. There's that diamond shape, which is Spiritism and the Elite. Very interesting. Maybe this is coming out in 2013. Superman. And we can see clearly there is some type of a feathered or horned snake symbol there. He happens to work at Saturn, or the Daily Planet, representing Saturn in that shape. There's the Daily Planet where he works. He gets his power from the sun. Here he is. Superman Dynasty will tell you that his lineage is of the house of El, Jor-El. Here are all the L's. L's are the gods represented. Samael, Gabriel. Understanding that, and just so happens blue and red are satanic colors, and you can see here in Eyes Wide Shut this satanic sex ritual they do, the black and red being worn in the center, and you see the reference to the double-headed phoenix, double-headed eagles of Rome. Here is the earth being represented. We see this in the Roman Catholicism. This film was actually filmed in the Rothschild residence. This is the residence of a Rothschild banking family, and we're going to get into that in the second section. Please don't go away. Now this is a prime example of the Hegelian dialectic as it works. This is Jay-Z, top of the food chain in hip-hop or rap. Some people don't even call it hip-hop these days. And this is MC Hammer. He was supposed to have become a Christian. So good versus evil, he calls Jay-Z out for being a devil worshiper. But look at who MC Hammer is. MC Hammer is rebel spirit. The only rebel spirit that we know in the Bible is Lucifer himself. So here's rebel spirit. Isn't that interesting how it works? Calling him out for who he is, makes big news all over. Here's alchemist. Here's the knight in armor, the Knights Templar, and the cross and crown of Freemasonry of the Knights Templar order, York Rite, and then you have the crown. Here you see this cross and crown here. Is he a Christian? No, he's not. And so his brand alchemist now, it was making a push into the MMA. Look at Shiva Destroyer. All religions being represented here. The opposing dragons. Now, is that Christianity? This is Hegelian dialectics in play, showing you that this guy is good, this guy is evil, now synthesizing the good into evil. That's the brand. Fooling you if you don't know what's going on. It's time to take life seriously and understand that your soul is what they want. Rihanna and the Skull and Bones, Eye in the Triangle, Eyes in the Triangle, single eye symbology. There's Simon Cowell in his jet ski with the square and compass of Freemasonry. Look how creative Peter Gabriel gets with his eye in the triangle. Triple sixes in the eye. Basketball players. This is Kentucky. And copycatting what is going on in the entertainment realm. Look at that. She has no clue that she's been brainwashed into doing this. Look at, they even make now as a last image here for this plate, the eye of Lucifer 666 in the eye of Horus or Lucifer, the beast 666. The horns using the two signs of the benediction, which was the Baphomet sign, that's the devil again, and vulgarity and sex, crossing, making the cross, and he's saying, do you even know what's going on, chump, fool? We're playing you. Okay, we're at the end. This is the final plate of the whole series, and the most important plate of the whole series. This is the Olympic ceremony and the Olympics and what that was all about. Here's Ahmadinejad saying that the 2012 Olympic logo spells out Zionism. Very odd way when you think about this. 2, 0, is that a 0, 1, 2? These are blocks. This is a $750,000 or even 750,000 pounds, somewhere around that, 700,000 pound or dollar. That's what it cost to do this logo. So he has complained. He's on the news here showing that that's Zionist. It's racist. Iran threatens to boycott London Olympics over racist logo. That's on the Telegraph. Iran says Olympic logo resembles word Zion. So you can believe it or not believe it. But I'm going to show you some things that show you that it is Zion. Here are the Olympic mascots. Single eye symbology, Mandeville and Wenlock. Mandeville, very interesting. Man and devil. I remember Cruella de Vil in the Disney movie was named such that way. You see the design itself of the lights. The pyramid with light emanating from the triangle, we've seen that before. In the ceremony itself, you see now here is the green pastures of England. You see the 4 maypoles on the cardinal points of the compass. Those maypoles are used in paganism and witchcraft. We should understand that. Here is Glastonbury, where they have the music festival, and it is a high occult pagan site. They know this. You see Glastonbury here in the Olympic ceremony and there in the Olympic ceremony. Now, going on Zion and what the word means. It means Jerusalem. Jerusalem. Words by, this is William Blake. This was sung as the first song in the ceremony. So not only does the logo descramble and spell Zion, they actually have the song. And did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountain green? And was the Holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures seen? And did the countenance divine shine forth upon our clouded hills? And was Jerusalem builded here among these dark satanic mills? So question marks, and then you have the satanic mills. Bring me my bow of burning gold, bring me my arrows of desire. Bring me my spear, O clouds enfold, bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand. This is all war, bringing about physical war till we have built Jerusalem in England's green and pleasant land. New Jerusalem, London itself. You see the elite here orchestrating the Industrial Revolution. These are the satanic mills that they're referring to. All of this forging of industry. We know what the Olympic rings represent, the 4 elements, and this last element, spirit, in there. We know who Voldemort represents because he gives the lightning on Harry Potter. He is Satan himself. And reverencing these fantastic storybooks for your children to indulge in. And then we have Voldemort here and the children with the White Witch. She's dressed in black. Mary Poppins, White Witches, Black Witches, all the same part. We have the peace symbol, Nero's cross, and the crescent moon, and the children there with the angelic beings riding around, red and black with the checkered patterns, black and white, dualism. And then finally here, reverencing the sun and the fire around. This is all pagan ritual. Now we're going to move into what the Olympics was about. You see the triple X, Isis, Osiris, Horus. This also happens to be the industry of pornography, triple X in pornography. And we can see what they did with this Olympics in this sense. Triple X, let's be adult about this. OOO Olympics, as record 150,000 condoms are handed out to a host of super attractive athletes. This works out to about 15 per athlete. And you can see that reference to sexuality. Sex games in the Olympic Village life. This was also on ESPN. Sex before competing, does it boost athletes' performance? They were actually interviewed, and one of the soccer players from the U.S. was saying that they were having sex between buildings. It was really a culture that they promoted. Now look at the logo again. If you can imagine or see this clearly, this is a man now and a woman's head with the hair back here, kneeling over, bending over, and then you have this element on the inside. Talk about expensive logos. Well, it really has to be worked out correctly when it comes to spelling Zion and having now a woman in a sexual act with a man head turned back and the woman kneeling over. You can believe it if you want to believe it. Look at the Illuminati pyramid going on, that reverence to the pyramid. The poster theme song for the New World Order, Imagine There's No Countries, nothing to kill or die for, no religion. So they are promoting this atheistic view. In the end world, they're going to promote the pure Luciferian view, and it is a worship of the entity Lucifer. So you can be an atheist for as long as you want now, but they will not tolerate atheism in the future. Look at the pyramid here, and look what they're choreographing the young children to do with the 666 sign. Imagine. And necromancy here, showing John Lennon dead. Now moving on to the closing ceremony. And one of the most prominent features of the closing ceremony is the blue octopus. And this is Fatboy Slim, DJ. You see the blue octopus. Who is the blue octopus? This is very critical to understand what's going on here. This is the blue octopus of Zionism. This is a Nazi image of what Zionism is. And this is a depiction of Winston Churchill, the Druid priest, and he has the hexagram up above. Zionism. Wow. For Christians, it is a very difficult subject to understand and to touch. They are very afraid to touch this subject. What does the octopus represent? Again, here's Israel. Interesting how they do this, don't they? And I'm going to explain this. Please stick with me. Here is Islam's view of Zionism. This is the Nazi view of Zionism. This is the Palestinian view of Zionism. The world stopped Nazism. The world stopped apartheid. The world must stop Zionism. I am part of what's called the Truth Movement, and please bear with me while I explain this. That there are two sides again to the Truth Movement. There is the biblical side, which I'm a part of, and I'm a Christian, and there is the occult side. They are exposing themselves in the occult realm. They are telling you that the world is corrupted. They are exposing Zionism, and Zionism as the power in the world, because Jewish bankers and Rothschilds and all of these Greenspans in this country and Bernankes of this country, they're all Jewish, and they control the world's economies. And look at what's happening with the world's economies. It's going to, it's all crashing down, and we're suffering because of the Jew. Now, interesting way to look at the world, but I'm going to show you how this all plays out. This is now that hexagram of the Jewish hexagram. The Talmud, racial hatred, yes, even toward Christianity. All races are now hated because. And so let me show you, what does this really do on this side? It fuels the other side. When Ahmadinejad and the Muslim world, they see this, they get fueled and say, look at that evil West. They're showing their power, and they're showing Zionism through this purple octopus. We all know who that represents. That's Israel. Don't those fools on that other side know that they're being played and they're all satanic? Well, I'll tell you what. They're both playing this realm. We are living a script. It's interesting how evil does what only God allows evil to do, and I'll explain this as we move along. Now this is the spider, again 8 legs. Here's the Jew now taking control of the world. Nazi Germany showing the Jews as the spider. This is why they want to destroy the Jew, or destroy the Jews, but there are Jews at the highest level, traitors. The Bible also refers, interestingly enough, in the book of Revelation, the synagogue of Satan. Very interesting how we are close to this kind of fulfillment. I'm not saying it is, but this kind of fulfillment. This is another interesting thing I have to explain. Now, there is a sculpture here. The sculpture's name is called Mammon, funded by the Rockefellers for an artist who was married to a Jewish woman. I believe he was Jewish himself. Now, look at the single eye symbolism. Mammon. Mammon is money. And the interesting thing about this, you can look on the internet, that this, in London, the mayor said that we are naming this sculpture the Spirit of Zionism. and that it was satire. So it's a joke. So that didn't play out as Zion. But what is money? Mammon. Mammon is the spirit of Zionism in this case, because the Jews are at the helm of the financial world, and we can understand that. So this sculpture, Mammon, goes to around all, gets transplanted. This is Roppongi in Japan, transplanted around the world and in major centers. This is Korea. Understanding what Mammon is and what the Bible says about this in the last days, that all nations will go against Israel. And the crazy part about all this is that, yes, the Jews are involved with the money system. And guess what? The Bible is very clear that God is going to deal with this. So it's almost like, from my perspective, it really is like, that God is telling us, if you're going to blame the Jews for the world's problems, look at yourself. The Bible says none is righteous, no, not one. We've all gone astray. But how this is playing about is very interesting. Now look at this. Arbeit macht frei, work sets you free. This is now concentration camps of Nazi Germany. This was painted outside Chicago, near there. Look at the money symbology and the triple bars. Arbeit macht frei. I'm telling you, all of this is interconnected with Jesuitism and the Catholic Church, money and the occult coming on to the end times. That's why I believe fully that this book called the Bible is a script. It's simply a script. We're living this realm in free will. And we have to understand that there is good and there is evil. There is one way, that's Jesus, and that Jesus is going to be dealing with his people in the end as he always have. So if we don't understand the Bible, yes, I'm going to be the one persecuted. I'm going to be the one that's the fundamental, that's not letting this world head into the new age. So in the next plate, we'll have a Bible study. I'll show you that, what the Bible says. I encourage you to understand what this all means.